Hey everyone, Taha here from Agar, and I am here with a very dear friend of mine who I'm seeing after a very, very long time. Russian Adam. I still remember the last time we made a video. It seems like forever ago. And you had some coffee back then as well. In fact, we roasted some. So, it brought back a lot of memories when I was making this new cup for you. And look, a lot has happened since then. Yeah, a reach.
Yes. Just when we were recording that video last time, that was actually the days before the first launch, before the first collection.
Yeah, the very first series, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember, I think I was the first person to actually test the stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah, what an honor. Yeah, I remember you came over and there was one very famous perfume you brought. It's this reputed guy. I'm not going to say the name. Supposed to run, it runs in the 900s or something for a tiny little bottle, and it just gave me a headache. And then I remember you showed me the stuff that you made, and it was, I was really, really impressed. There was there was the one with the musk,
yes,
Siberian musk, Ottoman Empire, and there was one
Oud Zen.
Oud Zen. Are you sure it was Oud Zen? I think it was something else, but
no,
Oud Zen. Yeah, man, and it seems like forever ago. Well, today when I went down to fetch Adam from the lobby, I actually greeted his cloud before I greeted him. It was this amazing aura of musk, and I was just so surprised. The projection was amazing, but it was not in my face. Like, it was actually very smooth, not offensive, and yet it was this cloud. I could smell you from a great distance without the smell being off-putting in any way. And that is called Siberian Summer.
Yeah. One of the latest perfumes.
Very cool. Yeah, and then of course I got to smell some of your, let's see, I don't know, is this one going to get released or not? The Wild Trot.
Yeah, I was planning to release it actually very, very soon,
Yeah? Okay, so this is one which I can vouch for this. When I smell this, it's a genuine vintage oil. So a lot of distillers, what they do is, they do certain, they implement certain rough practices for distillation, and then they're going to do like forced evaporation, and they put it under the sun for ultraviolet breakdown.
But you mean the vintage oil?
The vintage oil, that's the one I'm talking about. Sorry, not the truck, but
I might use for my upcoming
one of your perfumes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but the Maroke is the one I distilled, and it will be released on feel-oud.
Well, the Maroke is the one I was going to talk about at the end, because that's the one I'm really very, very impressed by. But this vintage one, the reason I was surprised was there's of course a lot of oils with all these fancy stories. People talking about grades, or people talking about how old the oil is, or how old the tree was. But this one, as soon as I smelled it, then I showed you my Borneo, which is from Sultan who? Sultan Qaboos' collection, and it's a very atypical Borneo, and it immediately. So your oil immediately reminded me of that Borneo, and that's a legitimate, genuine, vintage Borneo, which was cooked in India for Sultan Qaboos. It's not for sale. I'm not going to release it. I myself just had. I think it was like 1 ml or something. So I just keep it, for personal reference.
Yeah, so it has this unmistakable, feel and note, this antique type of smell, very, very old.
Yeah. It's true that it can be mimicked, but it cannot be replicated accurately. It just comes from age. So it was, pretty cool. Not my personal preference, but unmistakably genuine. But what really got me head over heels was this Maroke. Oh my goodness. I think it's still Maroke Aswad. Maroke Aswad. I guess means black Maroke.
Yeah.
Right now it's quite fresh, but
the idea was to capture this, very, very dark Maroke character. It's more of an old school style of distillation.
But what's amazing in this particular case, unlike the majority of Maroke oils out on the market, is that you can really smell the grade of the wood. To date, there are only 3 Marokes which I have smelled, which, they are just in a class of their own. And this includes, I mean, I'm also talking about my own and any other Marokis I've smelled. I know you made one crazy incense grade, like a very amazing one before, but I didn't get to smell it, so I'm sorry it's not going to make the list. I'm just talking about the ones which I have smelled myself. And so this is one of those three, and in fact a lot of people ask me about one of the Maroke oils which I cooked in 2000, I think it was 2017, the Ascent. And people say, oh man, do you have more of it left? And they say, please, you gotta make some more. And what I can tell you guys is, although this one right now, it's a bit fresh, I think because you made it a little bit old school, so the opening is a little bit rough, but for me, within a minute it opens up and I can see exactly where it's headed. And where it's headed is just that pure Maroke dark resin scent.
Yes.
Amazing stuff. And the nice thing is, of course, it has those built-in top notes as well at the same time. So it has like a clean, scintillating quality, but at the same time it has that deep bass as well. Yeah. And of course today you got to smell some of my oils as well, after God knows how long, after 2 years, I guess.
And very glad you like my oil. And actually I thought you're not gonna like it because it's very old school, but the quality, it's unmistakable.
And I remember last time you brought a few oils when we met last time, a couple of years ago. There was one oil which you also made pretty like old school style.
Yeah.
But I just loved it because this is something which I always say that you can make something beautiful even with low quality wood, low grade wood, but in other words, you can use like tinkering and tweaking and so on. But one thing you can never, ever, ever fake is the grade of the wood.
Yeah.
And this Maroke, this is, just stands out from the crowd. Yeah, it's not the typical stuff which is cooked from Maroke.
Yeah.
So that one which you made before and this one, I would put them in the same category. Just something which is well head and shoulders above everything else.
Yeah, happy to hear that. And your oils, as usual, impressed me. So much, you can see, the character of the wood in each of the oils. So your new Malaysian is also quite dark, but at the same time it's very, lively and very piercing.
Cintaku.
And I call it
Cintaku.
I call it a hijau style. It has this, green, very, very green aromatic qualities, and obviously the scent of the wood itself, very high grade incense wood smell. I think the most favorite, the best one to my personal taste is definitely Burmese.
The Burmese?
Yes, because this new Burmese oil you cooked, it just captures this very old Burmese.
Those grayish old batches of
Yeah, we got a friend in Thailand. He has a shop and many old vintage batches of wood, and it's just reminded me the moment when you open this huge box, with 2, 3, 5 kilograms of very old vintage wood, very high grade, and maybe a bit dusty, and it's just the smell is something else.
I'm glad you like it. And actually, you guessed Myitkyina, didn't you?
Yeah.
And this is close by. This is a little closer to the Yunnan border. It's about 2 miles away from the Yunnan border. It's from a place called BHAMO.
Yeah, and then this Thai oil, man, Kochang, is something else. I wasn't even, aware that Kochang has wild trees.
Yeah.
And then you told me the story that it's actually, very much under control and prohibited.
Very much under control.
But once the tree falls,
then it's allowed to be.
In
fact, this is a message to anyone who goes for vacationing in Thailand. Krabi, Phuket, Koh Chang, Koh Koot, and Koh Samao. Koh Samao also, they have some really good stuff there as well. If you find oud wood, which is fallen, let's say,
which is very unlikely.
Which is unlikely, of course. But you do see uprooted trees, though. Yeah. Especially, in this area, there's quite a lot of winds. Massive amounts of winds. In fact, even when you're on the Klong Yai side, the Trat side, from there you can, you're when you're right at the shore, there's the wind is just very, very, very strong.
Yeah,
and then right across you can see Kochang from there.
The opening of this oil, it's mind-blowing. It's just this, island type of feel, this freshness and this slight, fruitiness and this gentle, sweet breeze. It's kind of a bit similar. It got similar nuances to our old.
You had a Kochang, didn't you? Yeah.
Yes, plantation, but this definitely, much higher quality, much more richer and older agar wood, and then it shifts so much in the heart, like you told me it just smells.
Well, first it becomes like Kinam, and then it becomes like China. But to me, there's a stage where it smells like Sabah. I don't know if you were maybe, like it's about 3 or 4 minutes after application. To me, it's something like Sabah or something like northern Papua. It's a certain jungly element. To my nose.
And so many different,
Yeah. I'll see if we get the time. Maybe we'll heat some of the wood. You saw my the Burmese and the Kochang as well, and I think I have the powders for a few others as well.
Yeah, the heart nose is like very dynamic. I'm not an expert in this particular note, but yeah, it's beautiful. And then it shifts again, and it does remind me Chinese oud. And then Royal Sumatra.
And this is the one I'm very curious to know about, because I know you made a very high quality and high grade Sumatran recently, didn't you? I think it was called Virgin Island?
Yeah, Virgin Sumatra.
Virgin Sumatra, yeah.
It's still available.
Compare and contrast, I want to know.
It's hard to say, man. This is a bit more piercing, a bit more intense from the beginning. The top notes, are very, very bright and projecting so loud. But now it's becoming very quiet and, very, very, mature smelling. I think that your raw material definitely are of a higher quality.
Is that right? Well, what I can tell you is that, and I'm on the record for saying this, some people asked me, and I said to them, go and look at the stuff that Adam cooked for Virgin Sumatra, because I remember you showed the raw materials for that.
Yeah, but man, this also not cheap, right?
Yeah, this is also true incense grade material. In fact, in Indonesia, there is a name for this particular grade, not grade, but this format of incense grade. I'm not going to say the name, maybe later I'll say it. But if you tell the guys this particular name, it's pretty good bang for buck. I'm not saying this is a cheap oil, but for its particular grade, it comes out to be like about 1/4 the cost. In other words, otherwise it would be like 4 times more. But I'm glad you enjoyed all of these oils. But which one did you enjoy the most out of these 4?
Yeah, I guess Burmese.
The Burmese,
because just so much, of authentic, old agar wood smell. It's like raw chips, ancient, vintage batch, very, very, dusty and aromatic without heating. You don't need to heat it. So you capture this.
I just remembered there was something we discussed. I think it was like 3-4 years ago, that we should do a distillation together. I don't think it's really feasible, but what could we do together?
Yeah, I think we might have some exciting news for people, especially for those who enjoy my perfumes, rich perfumes. Yeah. So I'm officially welcoming you for a collaboration.
Thank you. Yes, I am very excited about this. I wanted to keep it under wraps, and we've been discussing for, my goodness, I think quite 4 or 5 months at least. I've just been a little bit busy in distillations and some jungle treks, but finally I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break from that crazy stuff. And so we plan to make some perfumes, let's see, together, collaborate together. And it's something, it's for me, it's something very special, because I still remember we used to have all these discussions, when you first started Arij, and to me it's like it was yesterday. You know, and you were so excited when you first brought the samples over, and I was so excited. I wanted to smell those as well. And you know, one thing led to another, and mashallah, alhamdulillah, you know, everything worked out so well. And so for me to be a part of that, it's like, you know, in a sense, I felt like, you know, I was a part of it, in a sense, if you know what I mean, right? So yeah, it's really, it's an honor for me as well. I thank you so much for this.
The pleasure and honor is all mine, because you know, you're the one who, or one of the guys who actually taught me, you know, distillation, and that's how it's all started, by distilling oud, you know, distilling sandal, other materials, and then lead me to this, you know,
the fusion series,
infusion series,
and that is
attars, and then led me to this perfume behavior, and really glad and happy, you know, to do something together. So let's see how it
Let's see how it works out.
And very happy.
And likewise, always a pleasure to see you. So stay tuned, guys. Once again, if you don't know him yet, you're missing out. Russian Adam of Arij and feel-oud.com. Pleasure as always.